ഇപ്പോഴും ഞാൻ പറയാം കേരളത്തിലെ വൺ ഓഫ് ദ ടോപ്പ് ഫാഷൻ ഡിസൈനിങ് കോളേജ് നിർമ്മല കോളേജാണ്. കാരണം ഇത്രയും നന്നായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് പറയാൻ കഴിയുന്നത് ഞാൻ 2012 മുതൽ ഇവരുടെ കളക്ഷൻസ് കാണുന്നതാണ്, ആ കുട്ടികളുടെ പ്രോസസ്സ് കാണുന്നതാണ്. അതിലുപരി ഈ ടീച്ചേഴ്സിൻ്റെ എഫർട്ടും അവരുടെ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടും കാണുന്ന ഒരാളാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഒരിക്കലും എനിക്ക് വാക്കുകൾ കൊണ്ട് പറഞ്ഞു
Always believe that something good is about to happen. Start right in the morning and have a great day. So with a simple thought, a warm good morning to all the participants who are present here with us for the webinar. So before we begin, let us all invoke the blessings of the Almighty with a silent prayer. Thank you all. With due respect to our college chairman, Mr. Sajeev Vatoli, director, Mrs. Dali Sajeev, our principal, Professor Murugan Babu CR, vice principal, Dr. Jojusi Akra, and our HOD, Ms. Sindhu Francis, our resource person, Ms. Veena Santosh, assistant director and assistant professor of the Department of Textiles and Apparel Design, the Maharaja Saijirao University of Baroda, and all my dear colleagues and participants. Nirmala College of Arts and Science is affiliated with University of Calicut, offers various undergraduate programs in commerce, management, computer application, English, multimedia, tourism, and hotel management, food technology, and costume and fashion designing, with a view to provide the best potential environment for the students to develop their career into employable graduates. The webinar series Emerge 2021 is an initiative by Nirmala College of Arts and Science to enrich the thoughts and minds of all the participants with lots more knowledge and share the experience of our expert resource persons with their dedication and effort of explanation. The rise of digital and social media has lifted the veil on the exclusive and impenetrable fashion industry, driving more interest in fashion studies among young people from all over the world. To consider such a crowd of interested learners, we have organized this webinar focusing the topic Design and the Designer. Hope this webinar will help you all to focus your dream and provide an effective path of assistance and structures of support to make the right decision of a career in the future. Now let me take the pleasure of inviting the person who is the leader and upholder of the institution, our respected principal, Professor Murugan Babu CR, to deliver the welcome note. Sir, please.
Thank you. Honored guest of the day, Ms. Veena Santosh, the esteemed chairman of Nirmala Institutions, Sri Sajeev Vatoli, the executive director, Mrs. Dali Sajeev, my dear colleagues and friends, good morning to you all. As you all know, friends, this morning, Tuesday, the 22nd of June, 2021, marks the start of the second day of the special season here at Nirmala College of Arts and Science, Melur, Chalakudi, which is one of the 6 pillars of higher education under Nirmala that was established at Chalakudi in 1954. Over the years, Nirmala has successfully molded the career of hundreds of thousands of youngsters. Well, friends, as I just mentioned, this auspicious time marks the beginning of the first session on the second day of this second edition of our annual webinar series codenamed Emerge 2021. It's an academic carnival, 14-day long, 24 sessions, 24 shining stars known widely the world over. A colorful bouquet of emerging areas of knowledge being discussed threadbare. Oh, it's going to be a very, very exciting, illuminating event. This is how we here at Nirmala are trying to deal with the pandemic, COVID-19. Well, friends, let me now formally welcome the guest of the session, Ms. Beena Santosh, Assistant Director and Assistant Professor in the Department of Textile and Apparel Design, the Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of Baroda. Ms. Beena is an academician with more than 20 years of experience in teaching in various capacities as various professional college institutes. She has a strong passion and philosophy of teaching and knowledge of many different methods to motivate students to develop their expertise in specific areas. Self-driven, highly motivated, and has proactive attitude towards work. With a lot of experience in teaching fashion in an educational environment, she also believes in sensitizing students to understand the relevance of design for fashion and concept of sustainable design development. Ms. Beena, with lots of love and affection, on behalf of everyone assembled here at Nirmala, I welcome you cordially to this marvelous event. Now, friends, let me formally welcome you all to this august occasion. First, the chairman of this Nirmala group of institutions, Mr. Sajeev Vatoli, and the executive director, Mrs. Dali Sajeev, who is also presiding over this function. They are an excellent couple who burn a lot of midnight oil in the pursuit of improving the quality of educational services offered in their various higher educational institutions. With lots of love and warmth, I welcome them both to this great event. Now, friends, it's now my turn to extend a warm and a cordial welcome to our Vice Principal, the heads of departments, and all members of our teaching fraternity and the non-teaching staff. I welcome them all. Finally, my dear students, there are tens of hundreds of registered participants from within and without Kerala, and their parents. All of them are sitting glued to their mobile phones in the comfort of their homes. With a lot of love and affection, I extend a very, very warm welcome to all my students and their parents. Once again, I welcome you all with best wishes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I welcome our resource person, Ms. Beena Santosh, an assistant director and assistant professor, Department of Textiles and Apparel Design, the Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of Baroda, an academician with more than 20 years of experience in teaching in various capacities of various professional colleges and institutions. She has gained qualification with BSc major clothing and textiles from the Department of Clothing Textiles, Faculty of Home Science, Maharaja 94, with MSc major clothing and textiles from the Department of Clothing and Textiles, Faculty of Home Science, Maharaja Sayaji Rao University, Baroda, 1996. UGC National Education Test for lectureship in June 1998. PhD May 2018. Lambani costumes evolution through innovation from the Department of
Hello. I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear anybody. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, I was not able to hear anything that was being
Oh,
talked about.
sorry.
Yeah, perfect. No problem. Can I start?
Okay. Yeah, sure, ma'am. We
Yeah.
can.
Thank you so much, Betty, for the lovely introduction. And
Thank you.
I thank Nirmala College of Arts and Science for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, Sindhu, especially, who has always been, in touch with me, and she's been very proactive and most of the times, getting in touch with me and calling me for the same. Today, I actually, when we were discussing about the topic, though I have been an fashion educator, I have been teaching fashion for a long time. Uh, there was a little lacuna that I always felt when it came to combining fashion and combining design. So most of the times, we basically there's a set pattern that is taught to the students. Okay, you start with this, you do your research, you do your this thing, first step, second step, third step, fourth step, and you reach the final step. But then the whole process of reaching to that step is an intense one. And every student who is pursuing design, I'm just talking of design, I'm not talking of fashion design, because fashion is just a fragment of a larger picture which is called design. So that is the reason I thought today we will discuss about design and the designer, because when you are talking of design, as a designer, not as a fashion designer, I'm talking of as a designer, you develop certain sensibilities which are required for any person. You are not going to think like this. You have to think in a broader perspective. You have to think about things view a larger picture. So that is the reason I discussed with Sindhu and thought of taking this topic, because this is the major lacuna most of the times I feel, especially with the fashion design students, which I have encountered most of the times. So can I share my screen, please? So, so this is today's, just hold on, please. Yes, this is today's topic, design and the designer. I'm not going to go through the slides in an order. I'm going to the the last slide first. This is the last slide, which is the regular pattern by which we basically, take the design process. We empathize, we try to understand what the design is all about, what are we trying to design, for whom are we trying to design. We try to, define it. Then once we are clear with what we really want, we try to ideate it and then create the prototype and then finally test how it looks. But many of the times I have found that this whole process is very shallow, very hollow. And many a times what happens is the student does not develop the sensibility and the sensitivity to understand what is actually required of the student. So this is one thing. This is a major problem that I encounter everywhere, including the college that I teach in as well. So, and we have tried in many ways to, cover the gap or fill in the gap. So these are the few of the slides that I prepared for you. The designer does not begin with some preconceived idea. You have to absolutely unlearn when you are going to start something. You can't come with a preconceived notion, okay, this is what I want or this is what I need. And second thing, always remember, as a designer, your final product should be user-centric. It should be user-friendly. It should be for the user. I am the designer and I'm going to design what I want is not the correct thing. You are the designer, but you are catering to a user. So you have to think of the user first before putting yourself in forefront, okay? So it says the designer does not begin with some preconceived idea. Rather, the idea is the result of careful study and observation, and the design a product of that idea. So what it basically says that you have to be very observant. You have to develop your observational skills, your sensitivities, and try to understand what you are actually wanting from the idea that you have perceived. So these are the few pointers that I always try to, talk to my students about and, make them understand. And one of that is make the strange familiar and the familiar strange. So a very simple example I can give you here is, you see, everybody knows, jeans. Jeans is the garment that each one of us lives in, especially you college kids. You live in jeans, right? So when you are living in jeans, have you seen the changes that jeans has gone through over a period of time? Right from when it started as a fashion garment, that was in the 60s, late 60s, 70s was the time when it really started as a fashion garment. And thanks to Marilyn Monroe, who really started it off as a fashion garment. And so then once it started as a fashion garment, you must have observed in your fashion history the changes it has gone through. So even when today you are designing, you might think of denim as a fabric that can be used for many of the things. So what I'm trying to tell you is a simple white shirt, which is a basic formal shirt. I can pair it with a nice trouser. I can make it look informal by wear it with shorts. I can have a scarf around it and make it look different. I can wear it with a half jacket. I can wear it with a proper formal jacket. So there are so many variations that I can bring to it. So similarly, what I'm trying to tell you is make the strange familiar and the familiar strange. So something that is very simply given in a platter can be made to look different for as a design student, and that's what your role is all about. So discovery consists of seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. Given something, have you seen any of these cookery shows? The master chef for that example is just a very good example. Or forget it. Let's get into fashion only. I'm just giving you a small brief. Okay, you have to basically use scraps of fabric and you have to create something out of it. Okay, so one of you might think of creating a bag, one of you might think of creating a shoe, one of you might think of creating a lampshade, one of you could think of making a jacket, one of you could think of making a wall frame. So it is like you have to think differently, you have to make a product or a substance which is very familiar look different. So this is one of the points that because see, ideas do come in and innovative ideas do come in. But let me tell you, in the bricolage, you will always come across familiar things. It is up to you, how can you make it look different? So that is one this thing that I give to my students. The second is your comfort zone. This is one of the most important things that each one of us would, each one of us are comfortable with. I do not like doing this, so I'm not going to do this. I would like this, and that's the reason I'm going to do this. So there's a nice Chinese proverb which says, last night I thought over 1,000 plans, but this morning I went my old way. When you sleep, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but this is going to be different for me tomorrow. But then when I get up in the morning, again, it's the same boring, mundane story. So you have to come out of your comfort zone. You have to challenge yourself. When you are within your comfort zone, this is where you are. And the magic happens when you walk out of it. So very simple. If I give you a new fabric, if I give you a new design brief, if I give you something that is, challenging, try to accept the challenges, because that's what a designer is made of. The designer has to accept challenges. The designer has to come out. Just because I am comfortable designing something doesn't mean, suppose you are participating in a fashion, a challenge where you may be given different things to work on and different project briefs. So you have to come out of your comfort zone and you have to work. So, and you get a customer or a client who's very difficult, and you are a person who designs in a certain manner. So you have to think about that client and you have to try to work according to the client. So your comfort is not what is important. Important is what the client wants. So settled habits of thoughts, over addiction to the familiar will smother the dreams and ideas of the night. What you have thought, what you have preconceived is not where the magic happens. Magic happens when you broaden your horizon, you walk out of your comfort zone and your perspective widens, then the magic happens. So you have to think differently for being a designer. You have to walk out of, the kids are scared. We'll come to that also. I'll in the further slides, I'll talk about it. So most important is you have to understand that what my comfort zone is not where the magic happens. The magic happens beyond it. I have to step out. I have to challenge myself. I have to accept the challenges that come to me. Then only the magic can happen. Otherwise, you are just like a frog in the well. Because with your graduate degree in fashion designing and with somebody who opens a boutique just because the person has good amount of money? Where's the difference between you two? The journey from design to being a designer is the difference between you two. So you have to understand, you have to challenge yourself to be a good designer. That is the reason we know Alexander McQueen the way he is, John Galliano the way he is, Manish Arora the way he is, because they have challenged themselves, they challenged their boundaries, and they've come out of their boundaries and worked hard. Chance favors only the prepared mind. See, it is a very beautiful slide which says chance and change. You have to change yourself to be prepared to accept the chance that comes in your life. You have to bring that change in yourself to understand that what is expected out of me is not what I actually think about myself. I need to go beyond a step further or 2 steps further to make the difference. Now, curiosity. Have you seen little kids? They're full of questions. Why the moon comes in the night? Why you see the sun in the morning? Why this happens? Why that happens? There was this beautiful ad that I still remember as a kid of gems. All of us used to like gems, you know, like how we have the M&Ms abroad. As kids, we used to love all the blues and the yellows and the reds and the greens that were there in the gems. And there was this beautiful ad that I saw in television. There were these 2 women who were trying to change the car wheel, okay? And there's this man walking in, he's so curious, and he asks them, what are you doing? And these girls, they say, when we get bored, we change the front wheel to the hind wheel and the back wheel to the front wheel. So, you know, we just exchange the wheels when we get bored. So curiosity is something that has to be there within you. There has to be a constant question mark looming over your head. I always tell my students that please ask hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions. The more you ask, the more you learn. The more you ask, the more I learn too. So most important is that you should be always curious to know so many things. And if you are a person who is artistic, who is a person who wants to learn design, curiosity is something that you can't do away with. Curiosity is a quality of a designer, to explore, to try to investigate, to try to be curious about things that you do not know about. What could be the next possible fabric that is in? What could be the next possible fastener that could be in? What could be the next style that could be in? What is the next kind of garment that people would like? What could be the next accessory? And as all of you know that fashion is cyclic, everything comes and goes in some or the other way, but never the same. So nothing is new, but everything is new, you know, in fashion. So you have to be curious. You have to know, you have to try to ask all the hows and whens and wheres and whys. All these things should be asked by a student. And I feel the more you ask, the more you learn. Coming to the next one, and this is the same thing, you know, you must have seen how curiosity in children is but an appetite for knowledge. This was written by John Locke. So I don't know how many have you seen that movie Super 31, Super 30, I think. So in that, there's this question, there's this whole thing where the kids are made to learn things in a different manner and they remember it so beautifully. So as even the faculties, the onus lies on us also, how we can train the students in such a manner that they the things get into their minds in a very appropriate manner, and as well as they try to inculcate those habits that we have tried to, instill in them in a good, instill in them to the better, for more effective kind of work that they can produce in the class. So the more the questions the students ask, as much the teachers should also entertain. Keep your eyes open. This is about being observant. Very simple, like when I started my clothing and textiles, my whole perspective of watching a movie changed. Earlier, we used to see the movie for the main protagonist, or the main hero or the heroine, or the actor or the lead actress. But then after, starting with my clothing and textiles, my interest for fashion and everything, I started watching the clothes more than watching the movie. So your perspective changes. Suddenly you should be like, you are doing a window shopping, you're going to a mall, you're doing some window shopping. You will see to it that as a fashion design student, you will be starting to looking at the detailing of the things. It is not about fashion. You can find design anywhere. It can be in a flower, it can be in an insect, it could be in some sort of textures that you see around. So you have to be very observant about what is happening around you, the latest news, the latest technological innovations, everything should be under your scanner. So all those things you should be, wanting to know, and you have to be observant about. Reading. Reading is a very important habit, because reading helps us to think more. Reading helps us to generate ideas. These days, we have beautiful fashion blogs. There are lovely bloggers. Then there are a lot of, because you people are the blessed lot who have been exposed to Instagram, who have been exposed to all the blogs and what the bloggers write, and the latest updates on fashion. You need, see, if you can read a book, you have the patience to read a book, you can read it. But I would say develop a habit where in the night before sleeping, 5 minutes, just give 5 minutes to read something that is related to your subject. Every day, that 5 minutes will account to so many minutes through your lifetime. So when you're developing that habit, you will get to learn more, you will be more enlightened, and you will be able to generate better ideas. I have always seen in my students that the students who have a habit of reading, or who are well read, are able to express themselves in much better manner than the children who have lack of reading, or do not read at all. So develop a habit of reading, which is very important to know the facts, the truths, and also about the latest things. This is something I always tell my students to keep, which is a notebook or a design journal, which they should always keep. Suppose I roamed around somewhere today and I saw something very interesting. I can immediately sketch it and keep, And when you do that, or I'm seeing a fashion show, I liked something, I can always sketch it and keep. When I do that, what happens is, in the process, one is I get to learn something, and second is whatever I have sketched could be of some help to me later. So make this a habit. This is basically about archiving your thoughts. You liked a good proverb, you liked a good saying, you liked some work about a designer, or you saw some designer's work, anything for that matter. Simple, you just went for a stroll and you saw something very beautiful. You can just maintain it in your journal, and that would really help you in the longer run to develop the habit of, develop your sensibilities towards design, and it also sensitizes to you to so many things. Test your assumptions. This is something that I always, many a times, students always, come up with, okay, ma'am, this is what I want, and I would only want to do this. And then I say that, sweetie, if you do like this, it might not turn, because what happens is, the student sees it as a two-dimensional design on a sheet of paper, and I can actually visualize it a three-dimensional garment on the ramp. So when they come with certain assumptions, ma'am, I want to do this only, and I want to do this trouser only with this kind of a blouse, I tell them, please do not do that. Reason being, this may not look good with this. Then I try to explain them, okay, this has too much of flare on the top. The bottom also has too much of flare. It may not look very, visually appealing. So at that point of time, the student has to be made to understand, and or else if they're not ready to understand, what I do is I make them explore it. They're always anyways making a tulle, or they're making a muslin fit. So I tell them to explore it and experiment. They learn it by doing it. They learn it by trying to understand it. So always test your assumptions. If a man begins with certainties, he will end in doubts. But when he begins with doubts, he will end with certainties. It is a beautiful phrase that I have come across, because when you're certain about things and it doesn't happen the way you want, then you end in doubt. But when you're doubtful about something, and okay, let me try this collar with this kind of a neckline. Let me see how it looks. It looks beautiful. So you have to keep an open mind. You have to be, not scared. Fear is something that is not appreciative of a designer. And when you have certain assumptions, you have to test those assumptions. Do not wait for an inspiration. Suddenly that eureka moment is not going to come, okay? You have to keep on, as I told you about the journal, you have your journal, that itself can give you thousands and thousands of inspirations. This is something that I just liked the picture and I kept it, it's a flower which is basically converted into a garment. So there are so many inspirations that are, around you, a building, a vehicle, a color, a fabric, a tool. Anything can give you inspiration. So do not wait that eureka moment to happen. Inspiration can come from many ways. If you have read well, if you have developed the habit of reading, if you have developed the habit of observation, inspiration is not a problem at all. Don't overlook familiar things. This I've already discussed. Make the familiar strange. This I've already discussed. I think it just overlapped. So this is a white shirt. This can be, as I told you earlier, it can be worn with a jacket, a denim jacket, because it's with a denim trouser. If I add a tie to it, it will look different. If I add a scarf inside, it will look different. If I add a bow and a vest, it will look different. If I add a formal jacket also, it will look different. I'll put a leather jacket on it, it will look different. So this is a familiar thing. A white shirt is a very familiar thing, but don't overlook it. The familiar can also look good when you are trying to make it look different. Have lots of ideas. As a kid, you may have hundreds and hundreds, or as a design student, you may have hundreds and hundreds of ideas that are, sort of bouncing in your head. Hundreds of question marks that are happening on your thought process. But then you don't have to fall in love with all of them. You may have thousands and thousands and thousands ideas, but you have to take something that defines you. You have to take something that basically, interest you. And another thing I always would want to tell you is take something that is going to hold your interest till the end. Many a times, many of the design processes fall flat because initially you're very excited about it. You're very enthusiastic about it, but slowly and gradually, as you move further, you somewhere lose the interest. And when you lose the interest, the final outcome is not that great. So take something that is going to hold your interest till the end. Every day it is going to challenge you. Every day it's going to make you think in a different manner. And every day it's going to help you grow. Take those kind of ideas. And to find one good idea, you need to have a lot of ideas. But when you have a lot of ideas, Be selective. Don't fall in love with all of them. Boredom. This is what I just talked about. You have to be bored because boredom is something that brings in curiosity. Many a times you must have observed yourself, I'm bored, let's go for a movie or let's go for a coffee. Why? Because you want that change. You want that change, you want to bring it that extra zing into your life. I'm bored. Okay, let me read this book. I'm bored. Let me watch a series on television. And it is a tendency of human being to get bored. You can't have something that is stagnant or something that is mundane or something that is always happening in your life. If very simple, your parents, if your mother and father both are working or the father is working 5 days or 6 days, he must be going to the office. But Sunday, he might look forward spending with you to watch a movie or do some gardening or any of these kind of things, So what I'm trying to tell you is you have to be bored to try something new because that boredom only leads you to be more curious. That boredom leads you to become more innovative. Very simple, I'm bored. Let me cook Maggie. And Maggie with all of you kids love Maggie. So Maggie with some twist. Let me add some butter. Let me add some vegetables. Let me add something cheese and make it look different. So that is what it's all about. And this is the most important slide of all, which says about make mistakes. Make mistakes because if you're scared of making mistakes, you will never learn. You see, fail. It is first attempt in learning. I always tell, the more you fail, the more you learn. Because then there are two types of students. One who fails and is not ready to come up. And there is another set of student who fails but has the enthusiasm and has the zeal to accept the setback and come. But as a designer, you can't be the first category. You have to be the second category of students. You may have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thought processes and ideas before you reach one final idea. There's this beautiful quote which says, the most valuable thing you can make is a mistake. You can't learn anything from being perfect. Till the time you don't fail, you will not learn it the right way. Have you seen when you were small, when you were starting to write, you would write the alphabets in a very, very different manner. But then as you grow, it becomes more polished. So the attempts at doing things or failing in things and getting up and learning, again failing and getting up and learning, again failing and getting up and learning is what the design process is all about. So the biggest mistake you can make is being afraid to make a mistake. You should not be scared. And I'll just sum it up later on. So you should not be scared of taking onus of what you have done. You should not be scared of things like, trying new things. You should not be scared of, oh God, suddenly ma'am has asked me to use satin and I cannot use satin fabric. Denim is so difficult to stitch. Can I do something that can be different? I don't have a machine at home. What do I do? Can I do some beautiful hand stitches which ends up looking like an embroidery as well as a seam? So, there are so many ideas that are there, Only thing is you should not be scared of using those ideas and trying to fulfill what your desires are. And this is the last slide which was there. Now, if you look at this, you will look at it in a very different manner because I have added a lot of elements to it before though it looks a 5-step process, a small 5-step process, there are a lot of elements that have been added to it. And one more thing I forgot here is research. As a student, especially if your project requires research, you have to do the research in a correct manner. You have to do your mind mapping, you have to do all those brainstorming and all that stuff in a manner where you can reach to your a certain idea. So that also is very, very important. So when I'm talking of this 5-step procedure, which is a basic procedure of design process, you can actually think about, you can now relate to whatever I have talked to. Because when you are scared, you go in, your thinking changes. When you are not observant, your thinking changes. When you are not well read, your thinking changes. So when you inculcate in yourself a habit of sketching or drawing or making a design journal, having good observation skills, trying to observe things around you, people, places, everything around you, reading anything. I'm not talking of just fashion. There are so many things that could be read and that could give you a good amount of knowledge. So that then again, trying to think differently, trying to look, the familiar looks strange and the strange look familiar, you know. So that kind of a thing is also very important. You have to make things look different. As a designer, what is that extra zing, that extra difference that you can bring in your work? That is the most important. And for that, you have to come out of your comfort zones. You have to be not scared of making any mistakes. You have to be, even if you make mistakes, you should not fear them, and you should get up and again get started with something new and something fresh. Thank you. Now I think I'm open to questions. Oh my God, 365 kids. Excellent. I think there may be some questions. Chat section is empty, Betty, I think.
Okay, ma'am, thank you for the session. I request our participants to please post your questions in the chat box. Questions?
Can a fashion, they are coming now. Can a fashion designer earn without working under a particular company or firm? Yes, of course. Why you have to work in a company, or why you have, if you have in you the design sensibilities and the app resources by which you can go ahead, why not? Many times, students come to me, ma'am, we want to start something of our own, but I always encourage them at least do a 6-month or a 1-year internship under a designer, because you get to learn a lot of things from them also. And once you get that little training, it will give you the confidence to go ahead on your own. You need not work for a company. You can start something of your own. And there are many students of mine who are doing very well for themselves, doing their own, labels. So you can start something of your own. There's nothing, nothing should stop you from doing that. Rather than fashion designers, how much do creative directors contribute in the fashion? Could you please be, Vinay, could you please be more explicit about creative direction?
Vinay?
Is Vinay there?
Vinay, can you explain your question? Ma'am, we move on to the next question.
What are the struggles a startup fashion designer should face in the society? Sweethearts, this is something, Asmi has asked this question. Asmi, this is something that is a biggest challenge for every design graduate who comes out. And I always tell them one thing: people are not going to stop wearing clothes. Clothes is one of the major necessities. And if you are able to tap the right chord with the clients, it's very easy for you to set up yourself as a good designer. But for that, you have to understand what is expected of you as a designer. You can't be telling that I am the designer and I'll decide what you're going to wear. Sorry, nobody is going to entertain that. What people love is a designer who can empathize, who can understand what they want, the challenges, what their figures or their bodies have, and somebody who can design according to them and make them look good is what is accepted by the clients. So you have to see to it what is expected out of you, what is in trend you have to know, and then if you design something based on that, I think that is perfect. And another struggle is finances. So there are, of course, the banks and all which basically give young entrepreneurs loans and everything. So you can even try sorting it out from that point of view. But before starting up on your own, again and again, I'm reiterating, it's always nice that you work under somebody for 1.5, 2 years, learn so many things, learn marketing, learn talking to a pattern maker, learn talking to a tailor, learn gathering resources. All those things, once you learn, you'll have the energy, the courage, and the strength to start something of your own. What all opportunity does a fashion designer have other than in designing field? There are many opportunities. You can be a merchandiser, you can be a fashion blogger, you can be, and these days you have beautiful YouTubing videos as well, and people are earning through doing the small video shots and movies and all that stuff. Apart from that, this is one part of it. In the industry, there are good amount of opportunities. You can be a buyer, you can be a merchandiser, you can be a PR person for a company. You can help them in events. In case they are having events, you can help them in that. Then apart from that, you can, even if you are good at crafts, India is so rich in its craft heritage. You can always work with some NGO or something, or you can start, if you know some women or some ladies who are good at certain craft or certain skills, you can set up something with them, and government helps in these kind of ventures. So you can think about these kind of things if you really don't want to go into designing. Okay. You can join the retail segment, you can join the marketing segment. There are so many other areas which you can join. What is the scope of fashion in modern science? A very, very big question, Safa, because nothing is possible without science. Everything has science. Whether you take your nylon, whether you take your cotton, whether you take your polyester, anything is science. Did you watch the Lakme Fashion Week this year? Safa? Is Safa there? Okay. Last year's winners for the sustainable fashion was a group called Malai. And they were actually developing leather type of fabric from coconut. Similarly, this year, what they have used is the tarpaulin sheets, and they have created beautiful, beautiful jackets and everything out of it. So science is everywhere, everything is, even your natural dyeing that people are going through now these days. There was a time where it was only synthetic dyes that had captured the market. Now natural dyes are back. So, but there is again science related to it. So everything has science. In your opinion, which Indian designer has been the biggest trailblazer in the past decade? Sorry, I reserve my this thing for this, because I would not want to name one designer for this. I'm sorry, I can't, on this platform, I can't be, talking like that. How can maintain interest in our area? Krishnendu, about maintaining interest, as I told you, you have to be constantly challenging yourself. And that interest has to come within you. Nobody is going to evoke it for you. It has to come within you, that whole thing of, urge of asking questions, being inquisitive, being taking up challenges. All those things are there in your life, then you can definitely motivate yourself and maintain the interest in the area. There are times where you may feel that I'm getting bored, but then it's very natural. But then just think it as another day and get up the next day and start again. How can I start my own brand and what are the requirements? This I have already talked about. Do you believe everyone should try and design even if they don't have the skill? No. I would say that, see, there are two things, there are parents who come to me, my daughter is very good in drawing and she's creative. No, drawing is a skill and creativity is something that can be developed over a period of time. So if you feel that that is there within you, if you feel that you have that in you, then only go ahead. Otherwise, please don't. Otherwise, you will not end up being a good designer. So it's like pushing a child who wants to do medicine into engineering. Neither he'll be a good doctor nor be a good engineer. So it's like that. So please do something that interests you. Please do something that you like. What are all the efforts we must make to create a unique design for ourselves, as these exist a competition? As I have KS, I have discussed all the points that I discussed today. If you keep in mind, those efforts that you put are definitely going to make yourself look different or make you look different among the others. It will help you to look at things in a broader perspective, and it will help you to go ahead in life. Ma'am, can we become a fashion designer without a fashion degree? Nana, if you have the sensibilities, if you have aesthetics, then definitely yes. I know many designers who don't have fashion degrees, but they are good designers. I don't want to name them, but they are among those big designers in the Indian, this thing. So it's perfectly fine. How can I become a fashion stylist outside India? Or you need to have your good contacts. And of course, a fashion styling degree, if you really want to go out and become a fashion stylist. What are the challenges faced by fashion and the steps for a good fashion? That I've already discussed, Asna. I think we are done with the questions.
Excellent session. Now
I
I
think I'm
request.
not able to hear you at all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe network problem.
Yes, there is some network problem.
Now let me invite our student rep, Alina Sophi. Alicia.
A very warm good morning all. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Nelson Mandela. With this motivational thought, let me take this opportunity to thank all present here with us for being a part of this webinar. First, let me thank the whole team behind the series of webinar. Most importantly, our chairman, Mr. Sajeev Vatoli, Executive Director, Mrs. Dali Sajeev, our principal, Professor Murugan Babu CR, and Vice Principal, Dr. Joju C. Akre, our HOD, Ms. Sindhu Francis, and all our respected teachers, and also the whole team of Nirmala College who has worked behind this program. Thank you all. We all appreciate your dedication. Let me take this opportunity to thank our resource person, Ms. Beena Santosh, a very much inspiring personality with great knowledge and skills. Thank you, ma'am, for spending your valuable time with us. We all really appreciate your dedication towards everything you do. We feel honored to have such an effective session with you, ma'am. Once again, I thank you all for joining with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, Alina, thank you so much. Once again, I thank Nirmala College for giving me this opportunity, and I hope I could make a little difference to the thought process of the kids when they come with, those bright ideas. Okay, I want to be a designer, but it's not an easy path. You have to have many things in your kitty before you call yourself a good designer. So please, do your best and give your best, and all the best to all of you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for your encouraging words. Now, participants, please note that feedback form is in the chat link, the chat box. You can fill the feedback form for the e-certificate. Thank you, Alina, for giving such a wonderful vote of thanks. We would like to invite all of you to continue with your active interest in upcoming webinars. So please note that next session will be starting at 11:20 today with the topic and introductory guide to food blogging by Ms. Anjana Gopakumar. And our next session, we will be having a workshop on 24th with connection to Madhubani art and mural painting. So I invite all of you for the next session also. Thank you all. Thank you once again. Please fill up the feedback form. Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I shall leave now.